Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review that came out this year, 2020, Irresistible. Irresistible is rated M. The duration of Irresistible is 1 hour and 41 minutes long. Irresistible is a comedy drama. It is directed by Jon Stewart, and the cast of Irresistible is Steve Carell as Gary Zimmer and Rose Byrne as Faith Brewster, and also Chris Cooper as Jack Hastings. And guys, I'll share with you my personal thoughts on Irresistible right after I roll the synopsis, and then I'm going to roll the intro. You're welcome. Something different. A Democratic strategic helps a retired veteran run for mayor in a small, conservative Midwest town. I know this is a really weird thing to start with. I completely understand why this is a very unusual thing to start with, but I actually wanted to bring something to your attention before I go into anything. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I just want to give you the heads up now. I don't do spoilers in my movie review at all. Thanks, Mr. Eminem, because I don't think that spoilers are fair. Now, there's a photo in the opening sequence of this movie when they're bringing up the title cards of who's in this movie. And one of the photos, and I don't know if it's photoshopped, it possibly is, but I don't know. It looked photoshopped, but it didn't. It looked completely legit. And it's a photo at a dinner table, and a dinner table setting, like not in a house, but like at a function, with Donald Trump, Rose Byrne, and Tina Fey. And I don't know why I even thought about, like when I saw that in this movie, I was like, really? Would they really hang out together? Like, it just was such a random, totally, it just made me go, huh, right. That's a really interesting, anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, guys. This movie, okay, I need to say this before I get into my review. I need to tell you guys this, so that you understand where I'm coming from. I need to say this. I saw the trailer for this movie. I didn't see it twice, and then I watched it once. Now, what do I mean by that? I literally turned this... I watched... The first time I saw this trailer, I saw it, and then I was so bored straight out of the bat, I turned it off. Because I don't care, and I never will, and I never have, about politics. I just don't care. The second time that I looked at it, again, I got a little bit further in, and again, I just was over it. I was just like, I'm not interested in this at all. The third time I did, I was taking my clients, I went to my clients, and I was about to take them out to go see a movie, and we're like, what do you want to watch today? They chose the movie, and that's why I ended up watching this movie. Literally. So they are the reason why I ended up watching Irresistible. Now, the title of this movie is 101 So Stupid. Dumb, pathetic, ridiculous. This could have been... I honestly think that they literally intentionally named it this because you could have thrown anything at this movie and it wouldn't have stuck anyway. Literally. The premise of the movie is what it is. You know, if you've seen the trailer, you know exactly what I'm saying, and you'll understand it. This movie isn't. This movie is literally focally pointed at specific people, like intentionally. Steve Carell is good in this movie, but unfortunately, the cast surrounding him, as you know, that anyone who's been following my channel for any period of time know. You guys know that I really, really value character chemistry, because if the character chemistry doesn't work in a film like this, especially with a storyline like this, man, does it not work. But the character chemistry surrounding Steve Carell, which is the main character of this movie, is kind of... It weakens the movie to the point where I literally nodded off several times in this movie. However, I am going to tell you about some things in the first act of this movie that I actually really enjoyed. When you see the movie, and if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't seen the movie, when you see the movie, look out for this scene. Steve Carell, this is at the first act of the movie. This is right at the beginning. He goes into a bar. He's just come into the country town. He's been on a long flight, and he just wants, a beer and a burger, right? And he goes into this country town, and the reason why they act so weird about it is it actually unfolds at the end of the movie. You'll understand why. But the bar attendant says to another lady, "Hey, such and such, can you get this guy a beer and a burger?" And she's like, "Yeah, no worries." And then she says, she's like, "Oh, what room do you want?" And then he's like really specific about the room he wants and stuff like that. And then as she goes to walk away, look over Steve Carell's left, facing the screen, obviously, left shoulder out the window. When he turns around like this and he goes to address her, he goes to say something, the camera angle is like here. It's like there, right? And you can see here, you'll see what I mean when you see it. Look over his left shoulder. I'm sorry if that's inverted. It might be this side. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Look over his shoulder out the window and you'll get a good laugh at that. That's actually really, really funny. Because in the background of that sequence, you're actually seeing the whole element of what he ends up eating playing out. And it's actually kind of funny. It's not hilarious. It's just really clever. And when you understand, when you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, in a very similar sequence, it's the sequence literally straight after the bar sequence. Steve Carell is he's looking at I think he's reading a book or he's on a laptop, one of the two. And I think he's on a laptop. And this is so funny. This made me laugh so hard. As Steve Carell picks up the phone, I'm not going to give it away. Okay, I'm not going to give it away. But something happens and I burst out laughing. That scene was really, really funny. And then it happens again, like literally moments later. I found that scene really funny. And it was really, really well executed by Steve Carell. And the sequence shot, the camera editing in it as well in that sequence of events. It was really, really smart. Again, listen to Steve Carell's dialogue really, really carefully when he leaves the coffee shop after she's just given him the coffee and like bagel or donuts or whatever it is. Listen to what Steve Carell says when his back is facing the camera and he's just left the coffee shop. Pay really close attention to what he says there because I laughed so hard. That was a really, 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 really funny scene. And unfortunately, the rest of the movie, besides the last 10 minutes of this movie, I wouldn't say 10 to 15 minutes, falls flat on its face, downright boring. Yep, 100%. Literally. After the first act of this movie, the middle act and the last act, except for the last 15 minutes, fall on its face. Hardcore. Literally. This movie becomes an absolute just political bore drag in every sense of the word. Literally. I dozed off so many times. It wasn't funny anymore. The character chemistry between Steve Carell and Rose it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible. Honestly. And again, another sequence in this movie that I completely nodded off to, and there was no way that I was even possibly remotely going to keep my eyes open for this part at all. But when he addresses the people at it's like a dinner function, like a gathering. Oh man. So boring. So boring. Drop the ball and just let the ball roll away. I was not impressed with that at all. Before I continue on, guys, the question that I'd like to ask my audience, in my personal opinion, guys, realistically, in a film specifically with heavy hitters like Steve Carell in it, does Irresistible have the core element in its essential DNA to go back years, months later and rewatch it? And I like to call, in my personal humble opinion, rewatchability. In no way, shape or form at all does this movie have rewatchability. No way at all. This movie is, besides the first act, I would never watch this movie ever again. Did I enjoy watching it? The first act in the last 10 minutes? Yeah, other than that, absolute ball fest. The thing that I have to say, and like I keep saying about the end of this movie, the last 10, 15 minutes at the end of this movie, it actually is quite a really clever twist, a plot twist. It really is well executed, and they really did manage to really turn the tides on this. Now, this is one of the very few movies that I'll ever say this about, because you don't ever need to do this with many movies at all. But this is, funnily enough, guys, one of those movies that you actually, to get actually a really interesting piece of chunk of meat of knowledge out of this movie, wait right till the end of the credits, because there's there's interviews and stuff like that as the movie's going along, as the credits are rolling. And the last part of this movie in the credits, like in the end credit sequence, is a real eye-opener, and it's really messed up. So in conclusion to my movie review, do I recommend this movie to you guys? No, not at all. Unless you really appreciate political movies. If you appreciate political movies, then this movie is definitely for you. Or you know someone who likes political movies, share this movie review with them, and I'm sure that they'll take something out of it, truly. Other than that, like most people, I don't know. It is what it is, guys. So for anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time, first of all, thanks for following me. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you. But you know what time it is, guys. Guys, it is time in my movie reviews for me to give you guys trivia, because in my personal opinion, guys, trivia in a movie review is like icing on a cake. Who doesn't love cake? I love cake. So it's trivia time. Particularly inspired by the 2017 special election for Georgia's 6th congressional district, where the Democratic and Republican parties and groups supported them, spent more than $55 million combined for the most expensive House congressional election in U.S. history. That's so pathetic, but that's my personal opinion. Next piece of trivia is, guys, during breaks in filming, Jon Stewart and Steve Carell would go to the crowds of locals who gathered to watch and sign autographs, take selfies, and tell jokes. That's pretty cool. I like it when I hear celebrities do that. Next piece of trivia is, guys, and this is the final piece of trivia, and I'll leave you with this. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate your time. Parts of this movie were filmed in Rockmont, GA during the summer of 2019. Guys, that's my review. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here. Seriously, I really value it. Have you had your chance to see Irresistible? What did you think about it? Leave your comments in the comment section below and let me know. I'd love to hear back from you. That'd be amazing. Seriously, guys, thanks again for being here. And if you are new to my channel, first of all, a very warm welcome. It's so good to have you here. And if you're new and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications if you're on a mobile device, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up on my movie review. That way I know that you're appreciating my content. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Thank you again for watching my movie review for Irresistible. Guys, this is Superman Steve, appreciating your time and loving you guys always, bringing you the movie review for Irresistible. Flying out!